You're listening to Building the Dream, a show that inspires people to explore business, entrepreneurship, and professional development. I'm Matt Lambert.
And I'm Alex Kazitsa, and we're sitting down with business professionals and entrepreneurs to talk about their journeys, the lessons they've learned, and how they're building their dream. Hey, what's going on, Dream Squad? We are here with Katelyn from Tidy Details. She's going to tell us more about her cleaning and home decor business.
Yeah, Katelyn, so how about you start us off with 2 interesting facts about yourself?
Well, thank you guys for having me, first of all. 2 interesting facts about me would be that I grew up in a family of small business owners. So growing up, my family had a laundromat, and we used to do laundry for camp resorts all summer.
Cool.
And then they also had a bookstore. And then we also moved from California to Minnesota. So originally I was born in California, and as an infant we moved over to Grand Rapids, Minnesota, and that's where I grew up.
That's quite the change of scenery there.
It was, yeah. We went back often growing up to California, and I was like, why
do we have to go back to Grand Rapids?
But now I love Minnesota so much, so.
Yeah. But how does Lake Pokegama compare to the
ocean? Laguna Beach, yeah, Orange County. It's quite different, actually.
Yeah. Oh.
But still, both beautiful.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit more about Tidy Details. Walk us through the business and what it is exactly that you do.
So Tidy Details is a home decor and homekeeping business. So homekeeping is basically a trendier way of saying housekeeping.
Yep.
So it's a cleaning service, residential specifically. So I do bi-weekly, weekly, monthly cleans for people, families. And then I also do home decor, small home decor projects and big home decor projects. So if people are wanting to redo their master bedroom or redo their bathroom or completely overhaul their main living space, they can reach out to me and I help them do color consultation. I might help them pick out new furniture, flooring, all the way up to actually going out and purchasing decor and coming and staging it in their home.
Wow, so like a full service business you got going on.
Exactly. Yep, that's the plan, is to have the full service, and I just love how the two pair together. A lot of the times I've had clients who start off as homekeeping clients, and then they will transition into home decor clients.
Yeah, no, I can clean my house, but decorating, that I'm terrible at that
Yeah.
part. So that fits in really well.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what's so great for me too, is that it just does not feel like work.
Yep.
It's so exciting, whether it's my house or someone else's house, to come in and be like, let's move this here and let's do this or let's add this. And I actually really like to use what people already have too, and just maybe bring in a couple items to really tie everything together.
Yeah.
So what's the most general theme that you see with your clients? Is it contemporary? Is it rustic?
Well, farmhouse is like the big, Joanna Gaines, that's like the big attraction right now. But I think there's a lot of rustic modern that's happening where it's a little bit of both. People like things really sleek and clean, but then also mixing different patterns and textures. So I see that too. I like to just call it all eclectic, like kind of a blending of everyone's personalities, maybe a little bit of mine too, to tie up some of those loose ends that maybe people are missing. Like they have me come in and they're like, something's just not fitting here. And then we might just tie in all the loose ends with a few added things and rearrange things so it looks a little bit more homey.
Yeah, one, everybody's going to be so different, so you can't just put one criteria on it. It's all going to be unique to each person's home.
Exactly.
So it sounds like you're very passionate about what you do. Can you walk us through what your inspiration was to start this business and how you got to where you are now?
Yes, so it's kind of an interesting road. So I graduated from UMD in 2011 with a sociology and criminology major. And after UMD, I have always worked in the social service field. So I did legal advocacy for a domestic violence agency in town. I worked for North Homes doing mental health services and case management. And I also supervised a diversion grant and a trafficking grant too in town here through North Homes, working with youth and families who have experienced trafficking and sexual exploitation. I love that work. Like, I loved working with families and working with youth and doing groups and education and even training community members too. I loved that part of my job. I just used to get so envious. Like, sometimes the workload would weigh on me and it never felt like I could be done with a day. You know, like, it just adds up and adds up. And I'd call my mom on my way to work and be like, I have 7 meetings today and I have a treatment plan to write and I have to do all my progress notes at the end of the day. And I'd be like, what are you doing? And she'd be like, I have to paint a dresser. And I'd be like, oh, that sounds so nice. She'd be like, I'm so busy, I have to paint a dresser and like sew a couple pillows. And I'm like, oh, mother, like, that sounds so amazing. And so she was working, her and her, one of her good friends, started a occasional store called Birds of a Feather. And so they were like getting that up and rolling. And I was just so jealous, and I always thought, like, how can I do something like that, something creative? Like, I just didn't know if it was in me. And then I love home decor. All of my friends were always like, can you come decorate? I'll pay you. Everyone, I'll pay you. And I'd be like, just call me and I'll come and do it. Yeah. And so I was helping friends do it. I'm constantly changing how my own home looks. And so I thought of what service could pair with home decor that would make sense financially. Like, I can go out there and do it and make income right away. And that's how homekeeping came about too, because tidying things, making things look nice, I just feel like it really blends together. And I also love to keep my own home looking like that. So that's how the two paired, and that's what drove me to start, was just kind of wanting to shift my career, and I felt like these two paired so well that it was worth taking the risk. Yeah.
Well, it's kind of, you get in and you clean the house and they see what you can do, and then you can bring up the home decor and, hey, if you wouldn't mind, I can help you change this around, and that's I'm sure how it kind of goes. Yeah,
exactly. Well, I definitely don't move things around in people's houses
without telling
them.
Right.
Where's the stove?
Right.
But it's been awesome taking on some, like, those first clients who took a risk. Like, we want to bring Katelyn in. Like, it looks like she's doing awesome things. And then I posted it. And people were so excited about, like, oh my gosh, how much is it to have you come in? And how I'm thinking about redoing this room. Like, what color do you think? And I'd offer to come and do like a 2-hour consult. And then that's what I think would really tie people in. Like, I want to do that. Here's this plan. The 2-hour consult is free.
Yeah.
And it doesn't tie them into moving forward. And so then I think people get excited, like, of the potential.
Yeah.
And I do think people like to see those before and afters too. Whether it's a big project or a small project, any sort of transformation is so exciting. So it's exciting for me too to see it.
Yeah, and you're a new set of eyes and everything in their living space too. So all the creative ideas that you have, they might not have thought of otherwise.
Yes, exactly.
Cool. So who exactly can benefit from your services, or what type of clients are you working with?
So ultimately, anyone could benefit. Anyone who's living maybe a busy lifestyle, or
which is everyone.
Which is everyone. I have a lot of families currently, maybe young kiddos in the home. That's obviously extremely busy. So any time where someone's working full time or have a couple kiddos in the home and they're really in the thick of day to day, that's like the majority of my clientele right now, specifically for homekeeping. But that could be, I work with single individuals, I work with families, I work with young and old. Anyone could really benefit from homekeeping. And then home decor is kind of the same thing. I've had young and old, and I've had families and single individuals. I would say primarily it's families, But I don't think that's necessarily due to any reason. Yeah. So.
And for me, I like the way things look when they're laid out nice. I just don't know how to get myself to that point. Yes. So finding somebody with your skill set would be much appreciated.
Yeah, exactly. So, and to me, that just comes, it's definitely a team effort, because I might suggest something that you're like, that seems totally out of my element. Mm-hmm. So it's really coming together as to like, this is what I would do. Mm-hmm. What are you willing to do? And really working together. And then it's fun to see at the end, because people get so excited. Like, this looks like such a different place. Yeah. Yeah. And I love to get texts too at the end of the day. Some of my clients are, oh my gosh, I can't wait for the clean house moment, or like, it looks so good, it smells so good, and that's always, that probably means more than they think, so.
Yeah. Do you do like the whole fixer-upper, pull apart the
I wish. Maybe one day I'll have like my husband on one side and me on one side, and we wheel out the old house.
This is what the living room used to look like, and
yeah,
here
exactly.
It is now.
Yeah, I think it's more of like Facebook writing the before and after is my transformation display. But
so speaking of transformations, going from social work to your business, what struggles have you had to overcome to get to where you are now?
I think, I wish I could say more specific ones, but the biggest thing is just letting go of control in certain aspects and letting go of judgment. Like, oh, like, does it mean that I failed because I left one field and went to a new field? And just sort of maybe the stereotypes involved in some of that. And I just had to sort of let go of that kind of stuff. Like, I can't really control what other people think. So I'm going to move forward with, because it's brought so much positivity for me. And then it's been so fun to see, because a lot of my like community partners in that field have reached out to me and had me come and do things for them and supported me in just really unique ways that I had no idea they would be able to do. I even had people who brought me in to do their office spaces and have them come in and pick out paint colors or redo their closet. Just like little things that I didn't know that prior field was going to be so connected just from community support. So that's been cool. But I think that's the biggest struggle, is just letting go of judgment and just your own personal judgment. Like, what does this mean? And just moving forward into that positive place. And it's been relatively easy just because of that community support.
Well, and it is a risk, absolutely, to quit your full-time job to making your own paycheck. But it sounds like things went pretty well.
Yeah, so that's the other thing, too, is just the risk involved. Like, okay, I have to leave a paycheck every 2 weeks and a salaried position to come in and be like, I have to... There's no PTO. There's no,
no sick days.
Yeah, it's, and I have a young child at home. I have a 2-year-old, so that's another thing. It's like I'll get sick, then he'll get sick, then my husband. But it's been so nice because we have family in town too that can help with some of those things. But that has definitely been a huge risk. But it has gone well, and I think it's because I've been working my butt off cleaning. So it's been a good balance as like, okay, I need to take on more clients, or I need to do this, or I need to cut spending costs in this way. I started making my own cleaning products too, which has been kind of a cool way to save money as well as grow another aspect of the business too. I just sold 12 of them today. So, cool. I mean, it's just kind of cool.
Yeah, and that's another way to branch out, kind of like you did. There's a lot of cleaners out there, not a lot of cleaners who also do home decor or also make their own products and sell their own products too. So just kind of branching off your own business already.
Yep.
So let's talk about somebody who was influential in your life. Who's somebody that had a really positive impact on you?
Yeah, so I would say probably I have two most influential people in my life, and one is definitely my mom, just because she has been such an entrepreneur in her own right. She has always helped my dad run the small businesses, while doing kind of her own things on the side. She worked at a clothing store, and she would do all the sets, and she would go to market, and she really helped build up a lot of clothing stores in our little hometown, just with her style and her creativity. And then it led her to doing this occasional store, which was so cool. It was kind of like the culmination of all that she had learned, because she really is the decor queen. That's what I call her, because she has such an eye for it. So it was cool to see her take that small business education and experience and mesh it with that creativity in her decor and do this occasional store. That was really cool. So I always, and same thing with me being envious with her going to work every day. Like, that's what I want to do. I want to paint a dresser. Like, I don't want to have 7 meetings and do a treatment plan. And then the next person who would be just as equally influential would be my sister. And really it's because she has such confidence, and she is truly like a boss lady. Like, she just does it. She's a mom. She's running the home, and then she goes to work and has a really awesome job that she is killing it at. So cool. Those two are like definitely my
so
most.
So you have the creative, and then like the hard worker like too. You've got both.
Yes, I want to run a business, but I want to do it and be creative and have like the balance of life. You know, being.
That's what we're all looking for,
isn't it? I mean, it truly is. So yeah.
So one thing that popped in my head, is there ever a conflict of interest of you seeing something in your mother's store and thinking, wow, this would go really great in so-and-so's house?
Yes. And there's been lots of discussions on, like, business plans and how we can partner, and, like, maybe she wants to feature things. And so that's been cool. They had an occasional sale is once a month, twice a month. Generally, the store is open, and they sort of change the entire set every month. They bring in new material, and they repurpose other material, and they kind of restage the store. And this last time, they actually had my cleaning, my cleaners, and I have a Tidy Mama t-shirt too. So they had all of those displayed too. So we do already kind of talk about partnering. Yeah.
Cool.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
My next question was going to be how you acquire new business, but I had another question that kind of was a precursor to that. Have you thought about doing staging for realty companies?
I love that you asked me, because October 22nd, I'm getting accredited for staging.
Oh.
So actually that is like next big picture step. Is I'm super excited about it, and I've tried it out in a few different spaces to be like, do I have this knack too? And I feel like that's gonna be another jam of mine, is gonna go in and stage and work with realtors. I want to do it the right way though, and get accredited first, so then I can be listed as an accredited stager, and then realtors can reach out to me, and hopefully I can do some networking after that happens. So by October, I will be accredited.
That's awesome, because if somebody buys a new house and they like the way it's laid out, but then when that stuff is gone, they're like, now what do I do to get that aesthetic back? And then you slide your card in the door and say, I'm here for you.
Yep. Or maybe there's realtors who are like, I like Kaitlyn's style, and I know she's going to work with what we got, maybe add some things. I have 2 realtors that have reached out to me specifically for that. One is in the Grand Rapids area, and one is in the Duluth area. Her name's Michelle Babcock, and her and I have met a few times to talk about how we can grow. And actually, she lists Tidy Details as a resource on her website. Cool. So she will actually fund some of those costs to have people sign in to work with her, which is super interesting. And so we talked about decluttering, depersonalizing, staging, doing a deep clean. It all kind of goes together.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So how do you acquire new business in your other channels?
I think the biggest ways is social media is a huge, people sharing and just friends of friends of friends, kind of like seeing something and being like, oh, that's awesome. I'm going to look into that or click on that page. So social media, and then word of mouth. A lot of my clients I have know each other, or like, oh, we have this great family, they need a cleaner too, or they have this basement that they want to redo, and then they refer me. That's kind of nice too for me. There's just a certain level of comfort when it's like you have a mutual friend.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. It makes it easier to meet, you know.
Yes.
They're reputable.
Yeah,
at least.
exactly. Same for me too, because I'm sure I'm going to be in someone's home. So people
That's a lot
wanna
of trust people got to have in you.
Yeah, like they want to trust me and know that I'm a safe individual to welcome into their house. So for someone to be like, oh my gosh, you know, we have her and she's super trustworthy, that's a barrier for me too, that people can be like, okay, great, we feel comfortable. So yeah.
Cool. And yeah, that word of mouth too, when they say, hey, you did a good job, you know, or people talk and they say, hey, she did a really good job cleaning my house, check her out. Boom, you already have that much leverage on your side because they're giving you a positive review already.
Exactly.
So if people want to reach out and find your services, where do they find you?
So Facebook is Tidy Details, so you can just type in Tidy Details and find me on Facebook and like the page. Instagram is the same. You search the Tidy Details handle. I have an email that's details.tidy@gmail.com that people can reach out to me through that. So those three would be the best.
Okay.
The best methods.
Cool.
And so what's in store for the future for Tidy Details? Because I'm sure this isn't the last time we'll talk to you.
Yeah, so the next project that I'm doing, and actually it should be unfolding soon on social media, is a fall decor bin. And so basically it is some of my favorite pieces to decorate for fall that's really in season, like 2019, like some of the really cool, fun materials and patterns that are out. So it's all of my favorite stuff in a decor bin that people can purchase. And then people can pack it away in a tidy way and put it away for the next year and add to it as they wish. So that's one. And then the next big thing is my staging accreditation. So that would be the next big thing. Fall is going to be big for Tidy Details. Yeah.
We're going to be busy. Book your cleanings and decor now.
Do it now. Yeah.
Cool.
I love it.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you coming and sitting down with us. That's awesome. It was cool to learn about. I had no idea there were people that would come in and do home decor for you as well. So that was cool to learn about.
Reach out.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was going to say that on our website, we're going to post that questionnaire that we had sent you in like a blog post form, so our viewers can find out more about you, as well as link to all your social profiles on there, so it's easier to find you.
Perfect.
Cool.
Thank
Awesome.
you guys so much.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.